The silence that set me free. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee lingered in the kitchen, a fragrance that once brought me comfort but now felt like an omen. The morning light danced across the table, illuminating the gleam of my wedding ring, a symbol that once represented eternity but now felt like a shackle. Daniel entered the kitchen, his steps hesitant, his gaze avoiding mine. He placed a white envelope on the table, and my heart, with a dark premonition, knew that the world I once knew was about to collapse. "What is this?" I asked, my voice trembling despite my efforts to remain composed. "The end," he replied, the weight of his words echoing through the room. "I want a divorce." The shock hit me like an icy wave, paralyzing me. It wasn't sadness, nor anger, but a sharp emptiness, betrayal seeping into every fiber of my being. Sophia is back. Her name, like a whispered curse, awakened ghosts of the past. Sophia, Daniel's teenage love, the overwhelming passion that had vanished without a trace, now returning after 7 years to haunt our present. "You always said you loved me," I whispered, desperately searching his eyes for any trace of the man who once promised me forever. "And I did," he lied, the falsehood in his words cutting like sharp daggers. "But I have to do the right thing. She's pregnant." Silence fell between us, thick and suffocating. I didn't cry, I didn't beg, I didn't allow myself to show the pain consuming me. With a trembling hand, I signed the papers, sealing the end of our marriage. Before leaving, he hesitated, as if still hoping I would stop him. I hope we can still be friends." A bitter laugh escaped my lips. Did he really believe I could endure the sight of his happiness with another? That I would be content with being a mere shadow in his life? "No, Daniel," I replied, my voice filled with a determination I didn't even know I had. "We can't be friends, because I am not an option, a backup plan for when Sophia gets tired of you." That night, as the rain pounded mercilessly against the windows, I packed my things, each object a painful reminder of what I was leaving behind. I deleted my social media, changed my phone number, sold everything I owned, erasing every trace of my existence. Daniel expected me to stay in the house we built together, wasting away in solitude, waiting for his regret to set in. But he was wrong. When he returned a week later, he found only an empty home, void of my presence, my warmth, my essence. I heard that Daniel spent his nights in the kitchen, staring at the empty chair where I used to sit, waiting for me to appear with a homemade meal. But all he found was silence, a silence that slowly consumed him, gnawing at his soul. He started drinking, seeking solace in alcohol to dull the relentless pain that haunted him. First, a glass of wine. Then an entire bottle. Then stronger drinks, in a desperate attempt to numb the emptiness I had left behind. Sophia, on the other hand, tried to fill the space I once occupied, but her presence was like a pale shadow, incapable of replicating the light I once radiated. She tried to cook my recipes, wear my perfumes, mimic my way of speaking, but it was all in vain. To Daniel, she was an imposter, a usurper of my place. Their relationship became a battlefield, filled with accusations, resentment, and pain. Sophia blamed him for not loving her the way he loved me, and Daniel hated her for robbing him of my presence. While Daniel drowned in his sorrow, I was reborn in a small coastal town, a refuge where no one knew my name, where I could reinvent myself and rebuild my life. I found a job at an inn, washing dishes and cleaning rooms, humble tasks that gave me a sense of purpose and allowed me to forget, even if only for a few hours, the past that haunted me. It was there that I met Enzo, the owner of the inn, a man with intense eyes and calloused hands, an enigma wrapped in mystery. There was something in his gaze that reflected pain and loss, a story he kept locked away. "You have the eyes of someone who has lost everything," he said one night as we fixed a window shattered by the storm. "And you have the eyes of someone who knows what that feels like," I replied, feeling an inexplicable connection with that man. He gave a small, lopsided smile, a smile that lit up his face and revealed the hidden beauty beneath his austere exterior. In that moment, something inside me shifted, a spark of hope rekindling in my heart. Enzo was a man of few words, but his actions spoke louder than any speech. He taught me how to fish, how to fix boats, how to appreciate the beauty of nature, and how to find joy in life's simplest moments. Our first kiss happened under a torrential storm. The wind howled around us, the rain drenched us, and I felt vulnerable and exposed. But when Enzo cupped my face and kissed me, I felt as if he was giving back everything life had taken from me. With him, I learned that love doesn't have to be loud, dramatic, or desperate. Love can be silent but present, strong but gentle, a love that heals, rebuilds, and sets you free. With Enzo, I was finally reborn, leaving behind the wounded, bitter woman I once was and becoming someone stronger, more confident, and happier. Years later, I returned to the city I once called home, not as the defeated woman who had left, but as a new person, transformed by time and love. Now, I was Enzo's wife and the mother of a beautiful little girl named Lara, a blessing who brightened my days and gave me a greater purpose in life. My new life left no room for the past, but fate, in its relentless irony, had other plans. At a charity event, one I had reluctantly agreed to attend, I saw Daniel again. He was thinner, worn down, with deep dark circles under his eyes, framing a lost and hopeless gaze. "You disappeared," he murmured, as if he still couldn't believe I had truly moved on. "You gave me reasons," I replied, holding Lara's small hand, a protective shield against the pain he was still capable of causing me. His eyes landed on Lara, and I saw the surprise and sorrow in them. He realized that I had built a happy life without him, a life he could never have given me. It was during that encounter that Daniel told me the whole truth about what had happened after I left. I learned that Sophia had deceived him, that she hadn't disappeared for love or to chase a dream, but for money. His mother had paid her to leave him, and she accepted without hesitation, driven by the ambition for a life of luxury and comfort. When she returned, she brought with her a baby that wasn't his, a child conceived from an affair with a married man, whose wife had beaten her upon discovering the betrayal. Sophia wanted Daniel to believe the child was his, to secure stability, to guarantee a future for herself and the baby. But Daniel discovered the truth, and the disappointment consumed him entirely. He felt used, betrayed, and humiliated. And when he finally decided to look for me, I was already gone, leaving behind only a trail of silence. I regretted it the very same week, Alice, he confessed, his voice thick with remorse. But you were already gone. You blocked me. You erased me from your life. Yes, Daniel, I replied, my tone firm and serene. I chose silence, and it was the best choice of my life.